good afternoon. So at Candy, Buff Pup, and Roastable were playing one of those rate your food things. And I happened to go buy snacks yesterday. So I was like, okay, maybe that's fun. So maybe we can try that for now. I should have looked at their stream to find out which one it was. Sush. I usually order like a pink roll and a nijitori. Pizza is up there, but I tend to not order that very often. Lasagna and salad with Italian dressing on one side. Borscht on the other side. Though only the grandparents make those things. My Earth Dad, I don't think there was anything he cooked well except fish. Maybe chicken strips. It wasn't so much he didn't cook food properly, he just didn't want to spend the right amount of time. So the fries and chicken go into the same oven at the same temperature. So both will end up burned. My mom, on the other hand, made all the food and snacks. My mom made all the cookies. So a lot of things I have opinions about are basically things that can compare to homemade versions. Doritos in the orange bag, which is the Knuckle flavor. I seem to recall there's an alternate flavor that also in an orange bag. The only problem with Doritos is that they're slightly greasy. If you buy the baked version, they're super dry and not nearly as good. Popcorn. I assume this isn't a specific brand of popcorn. I love popcorn, but a lot of prepackaged stuff is kinda awful. The Lay's Smart Food version is usually the best you can get, but the Orville Red and Bachelor Salted is so good. One of my art siblings bought the Colonel's gift card for me on the Throne list. Colonel's is a popcorn store. So most Doritos flavors I've tried don't even remember. Regular flavor potato chips are okay. Though Ruffles are meant to be dipped, and I don't like to dip my chips. Toss are basically just corn chips that are intended to be dipped. I eat them with guac if I have it. I like most of the goldfish crackers. Even the ones that aren't cheese. I don't think I've ever seen Fritos in a Canadian store. Again, plain chips are kinda boring. Never had Lunchables. I do like Prizzle. I like Pringles. The regular flavor is still better than the regular version of other potato chips. I like Cheetos or Cheez-U. I've only ever seen these cheese ball things at Target when Target existed. I'm not sure if I can find them at Walmart. And the other two stores near me definitely don't carry them. Pop-Tarts on sour. Here's the problem. Try toaster strudel. It has actual icing that isn't solid. Whereas Pop-Tarts are like dried out cake. I don't know why you'd eat these unless there was nothing else to eat. Regular Ritz crackers are just kinda blah. You're supposed to put like cheese or meat on them. But I'm just like, give me the crackers, I'll eat it plain. I love the veggie straws. They're better than chips at least. So animal crackers. I think they've kind of changed over the years. But the last time I can remember having them, they were kind of like chocolate chip cookie dough minus the chocolate. Like they were better than typical cookies, but not as good as like homemade cookies. Now cheeses. I had never seen Cheez-It. Not until like 2 years ago. And strangely enough, when Christy folded the Ritz brand into their own crackers, suddenly Cheez-Its were everywhere. Now, are they better than the other cheese crackers? No, they're kind of the same. In fact, Ritz seems to have absolutely wrecked their own crackers. I'm not even sure what that is. So Chex, I know, is a cereal. Okay, so this original cracker. This is the one I know as Ritz crackers. The rest of these don't exist. Yeah. Okay, so the Ritz Bits peanut butter awful. I guess we're going to have to look at Walmart's side. Premium Plus saltines. I love though. I don't like wheat thin. Crispers are Kinda Bly. I'm not fond of Triscuit either. Pizza Goldfish I like. Not too fond of the Breton crackers. I mentioned earlier I like pretzels. The goldfish pretzels are good. We're not going to go through all 7 pages. Instead, I'm going to show you a picture from a store. Okay, hopefully this works. So this is an actual picture from a grocery store. So this is where the popcorn is. The veggie straws are tucked away in the middle. So the popcorn I might actually buy. Smart food. And the popcorners. The popcorners is basically what you get if you make popcorn into a chip. Though it kind of has the texture of styrofoam. Potato chips. So there is a orange and lighter orange bag. The Necco ones I like. The zesty ones, not so much. These Quipasa ones are baked or something, they're actually good. They're different kinds of corn. Whole, green, white, yellow, blue, and red. I couldn't fit the entire thing in frame. So let's talk about chip flavors for a second. So with Lay, you usually have plain salt and vinegar, barbecue, ketchup, sour cream, and onion, and then some special seasonal. The Miss Vicky stuffer, in my opinion, just crunchy and not very good texture too. But you'll see the same pattern of flavors. By all accounts, I should like all dressed, but I don't. More chip. So the stuff on this top part. These are the organic ones. And they kinda have the same problem as the Miss Vicky's. The Old Dutch brand is my personal favorite. So in order of what I buy. Mexican chili, which isn't listed, salt and vinegar BBQ. And Old Dutch BBQ is hot barbecue. Whereas Laserbike is sweet, and I'm not fond of Lay's barbecue. I'm not fond of anything with sour cream in the flame. For some reason, every time something is cream, it tastes like old milk to me. And many flavors that are cheese also taste like this. This is a new flavor. And tried it. It's not special. The Dutch Crunch has been around for like 20 years. I don't like the texture of these. But more to the point, have you noticed that Old Dutch sells salt and vinegar in 3 versions and barbecue in 2 versions? I have a feeling the Mesquite BBQ here is equivalent to the sweet BBQ Lay's has. Here's Old Dutch's knockoff of Doritos. These aren't bad, but they're also not as good as Doritos. But Hawkins cheesies, you either love it or you hate it. I like them, but only the small ones. The large ones have a texture closer to styrofoam. That what the 200-ton bag is. So Bugle. The Necco ones are good. But the original aren't as good. Corn chips are good. The barbecue ones are also good. But I think I only liked them because they were in the high school vending machine. When you buy these large bags, it's like, okay, I'm done after a handful. The crunchy Cheetos are okay, I guess. Basically like the Hawkins cheesies, the smaller ones are better. Now here's what annoys me. I love pretzels, but this is the only store that carries them. I haven't tried these Vega jerky things. Alright, candy ale. So pretty much everything here I've tried at some point. Though I like red vines. Apparently these are only sold in West Coast cities. When I visited the East Coast, I could not find them anywhere. All sorts are good, but you have to pick the one that actually uses licorice. If you don't, it's just sugar. I love these. This is from a grocery store that is in BC and Alberta. You can tell it's Canadian because of the French on the packaging. I like to buy these panda licorice things. So there is a bit of a confusion in media. If you've watched Fringe, the red vines is not actually licorice. The Australian licorice beside it here is actual licorice. All these Maynard's things may as well be the same candy. If I had to pick which one I prefer, I like the Swedish berries. Twizzlers are not that great. If you look at the ingredients, no actual licorice in them. So sorry, Strider, you had to find out. Okay, so these real fruit things at the bottom here are basically like fruit jellies or gummy bears without being bears. Skittles are okay, unless you eat a mouthful of them at once, which I've done. Okay, beside that. So, of all the mints, the ones I prefer are the pink version that isn't shown. The pink ones only show up around Christmas. The green ones are slightly better than the white ones. But then you have these licorice and fruit ones. I haven't tried the fruit ones. I've tried the licorice ones. Nothing special. Withers Originals. Good, but probably not that good for you. I mean, most candy isn't good for you anyway. But I think when I read the ingredients, they were made with artificial sweetener. So Mike and Ike's okay, but aren't that special. I actually prefer these ones. These are just cinnamon ones. Did you know at one point in time Lifesavers candy came in rolls? They're even shown in a roll on the package. So these candies to the left of them. These are made with an artificial sweetener and are like vegan or something. They're not great. So I don't buy gum. So just don't buy it. So down here is where all the diet candy is. To me, most of the diet candies are just awful tasting to begin with. So, unless you're diabetic, avoid. Not ASL. So, I'm allergic to everything here but the peanuts. So the only peanuts I'll bar are the Planters dry roasted ones. And maybe only once a year. 'Cause the cross-contamination in the process usually means I can only eat a handful and then I'm done. So cashews never had. I've had pistachios. I'm eating it like 6 and I'm done. Macadamia nuts, maybe 1. Almonds, maybe 1. Pecan, vomit in 30 seconds. Cereal bars. Most of these I have not tried. Mainly, a lot of these kinds of things have ingredients I'm allergic to. Yeah, I was the kid who couldn't go on field trips without my own lunch. Because anything that got shared was usually poison to. Crackers again. So this Ritz Swiss cheese cracker up here. Ritz absolutely destroyed it. Like the original version of this cracker must have been made with an automated press. But the current version, I think, is made with a mold. And thus all the crackers are thinner and don't conform to the shape you see on the box. This is my personal favorite cracker, and I hate to see it ruined. So these are the goldfish crackers. Cheddar cheese trio pretzel. Zarcone extreme cheddar explosive pizza. I have not tried the sour cream and onion flavor. But I've tried the rest. I like these crackers too. Though with only this version. The stout wheat thins are actually kinda like a large saltine, but aren't as soft as one. Cheez-Its are okay, but the Canadian versions are all soft for some reason. And then you have Annie's Brand. Annie's Brand is basically just an organic version of whatever it sits beside, in this case the goldfish crackers. Look, it's the animal crackers. Tim Tams from Australia. Danish cookies. I love these things, but I don't buy them very often. So these are more Pepperidge Farm things. These cookies are decent, but they're not as good as homemade cookies. Also the risk for nut contamination. And now we get to Christie brands again. So I like Ori, but have you ever read the ingredients? The white stuff is just hydrogenated vegetable shortening. The same as buying pre-made cake frosting. So that kind of turned me off Oreos. Chips Ahoy are not great, but I suppose the chewy ones are the ones I prefer. The problem I find with these cookies is that they are super salty compared to what I expect from a chocolate chip cookie. My mom makes better cookies. Bear paws are actually good, but they are not quite at the level of homemade. And in fact, I suggest buying them for the banana bread version if you can find it, because that's probably the only time I've had banana bread that tastes like banana bread. Most of the time you try to buy it, it's full of nuts. Also, I like this Peak Friends fruit creams, but probably because they remind me of Great Grandma. So I hope you enjoyed any minutes of me talking about snack foods.